following podcast is recorded and produced by 𝗏𝗏𝗏, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at 𝗏𝗏𝗏-radio.com.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 𝗏𝗏𝗏. This is your host, but not your host, 𝗏𝗏𝗏. I'm here with Dame, my arch nemesis, on the podcast. We talking about The Boys season 4. We're gonna definitely reference some of the previous seasons, but we're gonna mainly talk about this season. Definitely was a roller coaster, especially with the 3-episode premiere, and damn near 6 weeks we're done already with this show. So. We're gonna show, first of all, we're gonna talk about mainly our thoughts of, some episodes, some character development, kind of reference their development throughout the other seasons, and then what's gonna happen in season 5. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. My first one. All right, we're gonna ask, what is your worst episode in your opinion? Worst episode of the season.
Let me. Want to say I was gonna say the technical episode, but it kind of grew on me still. I still have some moments where I'm like, okay, wait a minute, like I don't hate this anymore. It's probably episode 5, and I'm only gonna say that because it followed up probably the best episode of the season.
Yep. And
that's the Homelander episode. I just felt like at the time, like episode 5, kind of felt like a slog to get through after season 4 and all the stuff they threw at you and all that. You don't really get much of any development there. I know that everybody says that basically episode 5 and 6 were just filler episodes anyways, but you might as well say that for most of the season.
Damn near.
But yeah, for me, episode 5 was the letdown of the episode. Like I said, I don't think any of that season was like horrible, but for me, episode 5, just because of its placement, I said it before, that episode 5 and 6 felt like they were just misplaced, and that they would have worked better if they were just different episodes in the timeline. So I'm gonna have to go with episode 5 for me personally.
I said episode 6. Well, I know on TikTok I was like grilling episode 6.
That was the best episode though on the show. If you read the comments,
I'm just saying, bro. That shit was, and it made it worse. The comments saying it was the best episode. I'm like, no, the fuck is not.
Like, why are you lying, man?
Like,
Tech Knight
don't lie to me like that.
Character.
Do not lie to me like that. Like, they could have executed it better. Like, I feel like Tech Knight could have survived, things of that nature. But it's just the execution of it. I really didn't fuck with. I'll bring it up. IGN rated the season, not the last episode, the season of The Boys a 6. What would you rate this season so far? Or no, not so far, but what would you rate this season?
I think a 6 is kind of low. I mean, I think a lot of stuff hurt it.
But be honest, is this the worst season?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's definitely a step down from the production that we got and the quality we got the first 3 seasons. I don't know if that's just because of... I don't think I don't want to say the quality of the show went down. It still looks good. It still feels like a great show that Amazon's making. But I think, like I said, it's just the pacing. I think, like I said, a lot of like the decisions for, like I said, I think to me the biggest fall of the season is just like the episodes feel like they were out of order.
Yep.
I don't think a 3-episode premiere really helped them. The show was on TV for a month. It came out June 13th. It's July 18th. The show was on TV for a month. We got 3 episodes the first time it aired. And then everything else kind of just felt like they were just throwing it right at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get the first 3 episodes, the week later they give you the most memorable episode of the season, and then everything else is just a slog to get through until you get to 7 and 8. And even you could say some of 7 felt like it was kind of a slower pace until you get into episode 8, obviously. 6 out of 10, I still think is kind of a shitty. Yeah. Like, damn, I don't like IGN's rating system anyways.
Yeah, at all.
IGN has been bad at rating things for a while. Shout out IGN for their walkthroughs. I'll read the hell out of a walkthrough for a video game from IGN, but
definitely.
I'm not taking anything they say on the review for. I'll give it like a 7.5. I don't think it was horrible. I still don't think they topped season 3. Yeah, I still think season 3 is the best season. I don't even know if season 5 could top season 3, but we'll see what happens.
So, I just want to ask. So, what's your season 1, 2, and 3 rank?
I think it goes 3, 1, 2.
3, 1, 2. Okay. So you said 7.5. I would probably rate it around there. Maybe.
I wouldn't even man like a 7. Like I could understand a 7. Like I said, there are valid reasonings for why this show was just half perceived. I mean, it's got the lowest audience rating of any of the seasons too. It ain't just critic reviews.
Yep.
So, you know, like, and I get it, but it's also, like, a lot of the political stuff. Like, you know, it's the stuff they're making fun of. People don't like that, you know. But this show's also been heavily political from the jump.
Yep, definitely.
They're just more in your face with it now. You know, that stuff was sprinkled throughout 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
But now that, you know, this whole thing was a whole, you know, Starlighters versus Home Teamers, and it's very reminiscent of what we're dealing with in real life. There's a lot more references to the real life stuff right now. The elections this year, like, that stuff kind of plays into it. I think that's another reason why I rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to ask, because you brought up the Starlight versus Homelander. Is there a topic or, you know, a section of the season that you felt like just probably could have got wrapped up better, or you probably forgot that happened?
I feel like Homelander's whole, like, trial thing was, like, the way they showed it in the trailer, I thought Homelander was going to be on trial and he was going to be, like, in the spotlight for way more. But, like, after he gets off on trial and he gets guilt, and, like, he's not in the spotlight the rest of the season until now.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really, like, you know, he's not in the spotlight. You know, like, he, like, shows up for Ryan's big save that Ryan ends up killing the guy anyways on accident. And then, like, he's there at the end, like, when he's announced that, like, basically the president, he's going to be the general of an army of Supes. And, like, I feel like, you know, for them to do so much of the Home Team versus Starlighter stuff, and then that's the most you hear of it. And it's those first 3 episodes. After that, it's a wrap. Like, after did Starlight lose all the Starlighters after she beat up Firecracker, maybe?
Damn,
like, you know what I'm saying?
She
Like,
peaked.
Home Teamers won. Like, I don't know what happened, but I felt like that was a letdown for me. Because I thought that for sure that was going to be a main focal point.
Yep.
And it just wasn't.
I think the reason why they pivoted off that is to show Sage's dominance, like how she ended it basically with Firecracker getting her ass beat and her, like, being a mastermind that she is.
Right.
I think that was the push and catapult Sage character. But like you said with the Homelander trial, they really was gassing it up in the trailers. Even in Gen V.
I say, like, it got referenced multiple times in Gen V. It was in the trailers. I was like, damn, like, I'm not saying Homelander was going to go to prison or nothing, but, like, damn, I mean, like, they barely showed the trial.
It didn't hit stock or nothing. It just,
bro. Like,
he
just got off trial and was chilling, and they was happy as hell about it.
Should you know what I mean? I ain't mad, you know, because we got a more unhinged Homelander.
Yeah.
Speaking of Supes, who was your favorite Supe or even character that was introduced in this season? What is your least favorite?
Introduced in the season?
Yes.
Favorite? I want to say Sage, just because, like I said, anytime you do a character with, like, they're the smartest character trope, I mean, that's always cool. It's hard to write a character like that because a smartest character in that world is only as smart as the writers.
Yep.
So, I mean, like, Sage, I mean, a lot of people I know, you see in the comments and stuff when people talk about the season where, like, Sage did make some dumb decisions, but it's like, she's the smartest character. How could she make a dumb decision? But it's like, she is only as smart as the writers that are writing her. She can't be, you know what I'm saying? So, Sage is probably my favorite one that was introduced. Close second, like I said, I like the Shapeshifter. I wish they would have kept the Shapeshifter around more. I think that's such a cool power as it is. And the fact that they were really only there for 2 episodes kind of sucked. That would probably be a close second for me. Least favorite wise,
damn. Or one they probably could have worked on or built up a little bit better. Like
I thought Firecracker was gonna be more important.
Well, I say that her importance showed in one episode.
Yeah.
And it kind of dwindled down. Like it started off good, it went down, and went up again, and went back down. So it kind of was but I see what you're saying.
I mean, like, I thought Firecracker would definitely get more because she's a good character. I think, like, the way she's acted is cool. Like, I think she's funny. Like, you know, she kind of has that cool, like, dynamic where, like, even though she's in the 7, she still feels like she's nobody. You know, and they treat her like she's nobody. So, you know, like, obviously you see it in the finale. I said, man, like, she started coughing. He said, go get a Ricola. Like, that's crazy. I haven't seen a Ricola commercial in years.
Nah, did I?
You know what I'm saying?
No, you immune ass motherfucker. You
right.
strongest motherfucker on earth. You don't like
and
motherfuckers coughing.
Right. Like,
I feel you though. Like, I feel you.
I mean, like, I get it. So, I mean, that one, I think a character they could have did more with that was, like, I thought Splinter would have been a funny character to do more with. I think, like, you know, like, his whole obsession and, like, it was funny for, like, the episode they did it with, but I think that would have been a cool character just, like, because his ability is just funny.
Yep.
And the way they introduce him is insane. Like, the first thing he gets caught doing after they meet him is, like, just outrageous in the steam room. Like, it's just, he would have been a funnier character to see it done with, but yeah, I'm going to go with Sage for favorite, and then for least favorite, I'll probably say, like, just Firecracker just because of the decisions that were made with her character, because, like, she was, like, a main focal point in a lot of those trailers, too, like, the way she, like, the truth bomb stuff, and, like, how she, like, I was like, damn, she about to be out there, and then she just really...
Yeah, she kind of, like, dwindled down, like, I
She
don't
was
know.
just-
It's like
she was-
it was a roller coaster for her.
She was Homelander's breast milk machine by the end of the season, man.
And then he don't want milk. Like he don't want milk no more. So it's like, what purpose do you
man said her
serve?
milk tastes like cilantro. I don't know.
Like, come on, like let's think about her record. Like she like 0-1. Like at least Sage got the mental wins. Like
Right.
she got the ultimate wins.
She got beat up. I mean, like I guess at least she's feeding Homelander, so I guess that's
I guess, but like, how much is she gonna feed Homelander? Like, she's
she
sick.
about to die.
You know what I mean? Like,
She got an
I don't
enlarged
know.
heart.
Like, I feel like definitely Firecracker's story. I probably have to say she could have been more consistently built.
Mm-hmm.
She
that
had
was
her
the point,
moments.
though. Maybe they just wanted her to be like, maybe they just didn't want her to be important, though. Like,
That's
kind of like how Sage was. Like, Sage was like, yeah, you're only important for this one part,
Mhm.
and now you just got to take a back seat. And then maybe that's why they went that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say another person like that got introduced. I mean, Tech Knight was in Gen V, but I feel like his dynamic was good for that episode. And I feel like they could have definitely built him up a little bit better or put him in more episodes.
Yeah.
But like you said with Sage, just being smart, only as smart as like the writers want you to be. She didn't throw a punch this whole season.
No,
And was one of the most powerful characters. Didn't throw a single punch. I think the only person outside of Firecracker, I mean, she had a little, disagreements, beef with A-Train, but
right.
nothing too serious. But outside of making Deep a better character, made Black Noir a better character.
I feel like they didn't introduce many new soups. Like the new soups they got, they were like really there for the minor stuff. If anything, they were there to build up the main characters from the 7 already.
Because Sage helped build up the rest of the 7 because we really was looking at Homelander.
Horrible spot.
Yeah, horrible spot. Like the Deep, we like shit. I even said a prediction. I'm like, shit, they might make the Deep Black Noir just to hide this motherfucker.
Right, because he ain't did nothing right since he ain't done nothing right since the show started. Like
damn near like, and then Black Noir coming out in his own because of Sage, and I don't know, whether sleeping with each other.
Bro got narcolepsy.
Yeah, so
real life narcolepsy.
Not throwing a punch in the season of this magnitude. That's like Debbie. And Invincible.
Yo,
not
seriously.
throwing a single punch. She
got she got the most influence in the show.
That's what I mean. She up there, like, so I'm gonna give Sage her credit. Is there a character that you felt like in the previous season? I mean, obviously we got the cameos in the last episode, but do you feel like there's a character in the previous seasons that could have showed up and made an impact in this last season?
No, I feel like I don't think so. And I'm gonna say that just because I feel like the characters they brought back made sense here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to overdo it and just bring people back because you're going into your last season.
Yep.
Because shows have a tendency to do that. They know the show is about to come to an end. Well, let's just make everybody happy. Let's start bringing everybody back. I don't feel like they needed to do that here, and I'm kind of glad they brought back Grace. That made sense. You bring him back, Soldier Boy. Obviously, that makes sense. That's a big character already. Obviously, you get some reoccurring people like Love Sausage. Obviously, Kate and Sam coming back from Gen V. It would have been cool to see the rest of the Gen V cast. Besides just Sam and Kate, obviously, because we know they're bad. They're on Team Homelander, so it'd have been cool to see Marie and all them to at least give you some type of hope. I thought that would have been a cool post-credit scene. Maybe if they wanted to do another one, obviously Soldier Boy ended up being a good one anyways. But no, I think what they did was perfect. Like I said, you don't want to throw too much at the wall. And I feel like for this finale, they gave you everything you could ask for to lead into this. Like, I would say season 4 ended up feeling like a trailer for season 5.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of showed you there's here's just some stuff we're gonna get you guys interested, and then at the very end, how a trailer they'll give you some really cool stuff to end the trailer with to make you hype for the next release. And that's kind of how this season felt. A lot of people said this was a lot of filler until you got to 7 and 8, and it kind of felt like that. Right? So it's very trailer formatted for this season, and I feel like maybe that's why people didn't like it so much.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you, because obviously you just said season 4 was the worst of the season. So do you think which show do you think is gonna build up to the season 5 of The Boys? Do you think this season or Gen V season 2 will build up to season 5 of The Boys better? And I ask that because obviously you got Kate and Sam that was in the only ones in The Boys from Gen V.
Right.
I mean, obviously you had Ashley and all them, but
yeah.
You gonna pivot that into Gen V season 2, and obviously Homelander. I mean, he was in Gen V season 1, but the main Huey all them isn't gonna be in there. So, do you think that season, possibly with the virus and Sam and Cat's emergence, do you think I said Sam and Cat? Wow.
Boy, on Nickelodeon.
Might be my cue to just walk
He's
away.
streaming Nickelodeon on his phone right now.
Kate, Cat, my fault. But do you think their emergence in the season 2? From this season of The Boys, do you think that in the Gen V season 2 could be bigger in season 5, or do you think that this season did the perfect job of building up?
I think this season did a good enough job of building up. Like I said, I think when Homelander first gives this whole speech about how the superheroes can't be celebrities anymore, they're gonna be, wrathful gods, and like they're gonna start acting like they're better than everybody. And Kate, Sam doesn't say anything, but Kate immediately buys into that, which makes sense from Kate's story arc of season 1 of Gen V, where like humans have only ever done her horribly. Her parents keeping her away and blaming her for her brother running away or passing away in the woods or whatever. And like you see her nightmares and that. I think that was really cool. Like, you can see how she buys into Homelander's plan immediately. She doesn't even try to fight it. Screw humans. She's all on Team Supe. And so I think that's a good setup. I think Gen V has to be the more important setup. And just because it's that bridge, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, we kind of talked about it before we started recording, where like you get stuff like that where like there's movies in between the bigger movies, you know what I'm saying? Or like little snippets where you could see kind of what's going on in that universe, and it kind of drops you some hints to get you ready for the next thing. And I feel like that's what this is going to be.
I agree with that. Definitely, because with how quick this show came out and stopped, I don't want to say this show's gonna be forgotten, but next March or April, and we're hyped for Gen V season 2.
Right.
We're gonna still ask these questions about, okay, what is Sam and Sam and Kate gonna do? Like, we got those questions in our mind, and now we want them answered. We're not gonna really be thinking of The Boys season 5 until Gen V season 2 end. We just see that kind of
you say you're looking out at the horizon, but like you're looking obviously to the closer point first, and Gen V is just a closer one. Like, and you really can't predict anything for season 5 until you at least see what happens in Gen V season 2, because they're so connected. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't see a universe where season 2 of Gen V doesn't, where it does some crazy time skip and makes all this stuff non-existent. Like, this is gonna take place probably right after, with our, Marie being our main character again, obviously, and they're kind of just going to go from there, whether they break out or they're getting used for whatever Homelander's plan is at this point. I think Gen V season 2 has to, that's a pretty big ask to give a show. Gen V season 1 was well perceived and all that. So, obviously that helps, but like being basically asked to set up the final season of a show that's been as popular as The Boys has been is going to be a big ask, but I think they could pull it off. They've shown nothing that makes me think, no, they're going to ruin it horribly by doing that,
Yeah. So we was playing 2K right now, right? We was playing 2K.
Oh, God.
And we had ratings. Who ratings went up the most and who ratings went down the least? For characters that's been on the show since the beginning.
Black Noir definitely dropped his overall. I don't care what anybody says, man. You could say he was funnier and all that.
He did drop 20. He's when Homelander killed you with 25 overall. It's hard to get
Black Noir had crazy aura in the first 3 seasons, man. Like, he didn't speak a damn word, but he was a cool character. Like,
don't worry.
And the all black, like, was just like, and even like season 3 did a good job of explaining the story. I love the backstory and all that. Yep. You bring in the new one, like, he's funny now. He talks, but it's like he complained a lot this season. He didn't know what he was doing. Like, I say Black Noir took a pretty big hit. The Deep was a 0 overall. He went up a little bit, I guess.
The green era went up.
Yeah,
I give him respect.
You know what I'm saying? Character like Starlight went from like an 88 overall. She might be a 60 overall brown shirt right now, man. Like, if she didn't do something by the end of the season, it'd have been cooked for her.
If she ain't fly away,
that's what I'm saying. And like flew away like a normal superhero too, not like stuttering. Like, she flew away like how she knew what she was doing. So Starlight definitely went down. Going up, man. Butcher went up. Butcher was down bad at the end of season 3.
That's true.
Seeing Butcher, even though he embraced his dark side and made a bad decision, or who knows what's gonna happen with him going forward. Butcher had an upgrade. Huey might have stayed stagnant, man. They did Huey horrible this season.
I think he went up, man, for what he did and how he ended up.
I just feel like if we're talking like the whole season, like the finale, like the last 2 episodes definitely saved him. But man, like they did, being a fan of Huey going in this season and watching until this last 2 episodes probably was horrible, because he was getting did filthy at every angle. He had a horrible storyline this season until like his dad passing away. Like that's a and then get sexually molested right after. Like,
that's
like
that's
he had some crazy
episode 6. Like,
he had some crazy
horrible.
like trauma back to back, like having it horrible. Got his like news leak that him and his girl had an abortion. Like, damn, it was getting bad for Huey. These last 2 episodes definitely saved him.
Yep.
But like I said, it was just like they did a really good job of balancing it though. For like I said, all the characters that kind of went down and felt like they're important, characters that probably needed to be more important kind of stepped up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Ryan, like, we complained a lot about Ryan's usage in those first like 4, 5, 6 episodes. Like barely being there. A scene or 2 here and there. They really made him ramp it up in the last 2 episodes to where it actually makes sense for him to be important going into season 5.
Yep. I was gonna say Victoria Newman, in my opinion, went up. Her aura went up. When walking into a room and make everybody nosebleed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
She got it. Like, she got it. I'll say her. And then I had one more person I was going to say. A-Train. A-Train overall went up. I'm not going to lie.
He's been a 99 overall in my book.
I ain't going to lie. He went up. I was not fucking with him. I'm like, yo, A-Train giving me Starlight. Like, Starlight is who we had A-Train as originally. Like, powers ain't all that. Just standing there. Oh, I could run fast, but I really don't want to run fast. Like, I could light up, but I can't. So, I think A-Train and Victoria Newman was my two. Like, they jumped up the most, especially in the last episode of A-Train. Finally, or last 2 episodes, finally getting his first save. And then
saving the boys.
Mm-hmm. He get my credit. Mother's Milk went down drastically.
Chill on Mother's Milk.
His aura gone, beard gone. he ain't really got shit else. Like, he ain't got
his
shit
beard
else.
gone, man.
Like, he ain't got shit else. He was a trash ass leader.
They was swearing on everything he was a different actor. I'm like, bro, y'all are acting different, man. He looks exactly the same. He's not got a beard. And he's skinny.
I'm just saying, him as a leader,
Ozempic Mother's Milk.
Him as a leader just wasn't good this season, which I guess is expected,
right?
Because it's first time doing it. But I just wish that could have made. I guess it made Huey at the end, but like I wish it would have made the other characters around him like try to elevate
instead of just being like, "Yo, Mother's Milk, what do we do?"
Yo, what do we do?
And Butcher calling him a bad leader the whole time.
Like, I mean, like y'all mad at Butcher, but shit, Butcher on time it. Like
at least Butcher trying to handle it, bro. Like Mother's Milk is out here passing out on important missions.
Like damn, bro. Like, and then they just kind of they mentioned it 1 or 2 times and just okay, well you passed out. But
yeah,
shit,
you got anxiety, but you chilling right now.
Then or die, but we got bigger things to do. Like if you pass out again, no A-Train here. Like what you gonna do?
So Starlight gonna have to fly your ass to the hospital.
She can't fly, so it's like you just playing with your life at that point.
For sure,
it's cool though. I hate asking this because it's a hard ass question, man. It's a hard ass question, bro. All right, if it was one thing you could have done in this season to make it better, what would it be?
Shit. You killed me on that one. I'm not gonna lie.
One. Like, is it like maybe make a character better? Maybe make a undeaf somebody, redeaf somebody.
Unkill Victoria Newman.
That's what you. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
like
say that I was really hyped for her season 5.
Bro, I swear, I thought she was gonna be a more important.
Hyped for her season 5.
I thought she'd be a way more important character. For her to be like, she's been important since season 2. Once they like kind of started revealing her more and more, like I thought for sure she was gonna have a bigger like thing. Like Homelander going out there and airing her out on television and showing everybody that she's a Supe. He lasered her and it didn't hurt her. Like thought for sure that was gonna have bigger implications. That's why, like I said, I kind of felt like her death was unnecessary. Like it was a cool show off of Butcher's powers, I guess, but in the grand scheme of things, felt like she would have been a way better character to have. And like I said, I get there's points to be made, like how would she have escaped Homelander? Could she have even done that and stuff like that? Like, but we don't know. She was clearly way more powerful than anybody gave her credit for, and so I felt like that would have been a cool thing to have. And like, you know, and then like for her, like the whole thing to be like, I just want a better life for my daughter, and that her daughter ends up in the orphanage where she was at. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's a horrible ending for her character. I felt like that was done so well for so long, and then you just kill her off unceremoniously.
Her aura was so good in this season. Like,
every time I just love the actress. She's just very good. She's in a lot. She was a Call of Duty character, man. Like she was in Mad Call of Duty, so it's like, you know what I'm saying. She knows what she's doing. She portrayed this character very well. Like this character was a man in the comic books, mind you.
I could at least have Stan Egner watch over her. Like, what did he get broken out of prison for? Like,
that's something I feel like will happen in season 5. But man, I don't know. Like I said, she made every right call. Like I said, and like I said, like her baby's father, whatever, got back to her. Like you know, like they were setting everything up for her. Where I was like, damn, okay, she's gonna have some interesting things to do going forward. Like for her to even go back on Huey, where Huey offered as her friend, like obviously they care about each other as friends, and Huey like tried to save her, and she said no, she wants this, and then for her to finally admit like, no, I don't want this anymore. Like I thought I did for Zoe or for whoever, and she's like, no, actually I don't. It's just like, it's just a pipe dream now. And like Huey doing the whole forgiveness speech just to kill her off, man. It's like, damn, I wasn't a fan at all. I really was hoping that's the one thing I would change about the season. I thought for sure she was going to survive, and then her getting killed was just, that was a horrible decision for me.
I agree with you, man. That's why I didn't want to say it was like anticlimactic, like I didn't care, but it was like, damn. Like, for sure. Like, I mean, it's like you said, how I said it, like, it just felt like shock factor. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like, I mean, I'm not saying you had to like the character or anything like that, but to think that like that's a pretty important death of all things for all the characters. For her to get killed off, that's a pretty big death. You know, like
Grace Mallory getting killed is kind of whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's already been a minor character to begin with. You know what I'm saying? But I would consider Newman to be a pretty major character, you know? So for her to get killed off was just a shock to me, and I wasn't a fan.
All right. Last but not least, though, Butcher and Homelander. This rivalry that started in season 1. Did you like this dynamic this year? Them not really being... Because I'm going to be honest. If I'm the strongest motherfucker on Earth and I know motherfucker trying to kill me, I'm going to pack you up early.
Right.
Them motherfuckers been face-to-face every season. They started this season off face-to-face. Homelander doesn't kill him. Mm-hmm. Do you like this dynamic of them kind of going through their own trauma, through their own problems, and then, you know, Butcher still's driven by trying to kill Homelander? Or do you think that now that Butcher has powers, he's going to be more bloodlust to attack him and go head on with him?
I definitely think it's going to be a bloodlust thing now that he's embraced that dark side, because he wasn't going to use the whole virus thing because it was going to kill all the Supes. I don't think he cares anymore at this point. Mm-hmm. I'm sure something will happen where he will care again. I can't see it being like an all-out thing where they make Butcher just like a psychopathic murderer of Supes. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that could be something they go with early on. But, like, I mean, Frenchie made a very good point. He took Compound V. Like, there is still Compound V in Butcher's bloodstream, so the virus would technically kill him. I like the dynamic, but I think it's better when they're actually at each other's throats. Like, not like, you know, obviously the solo development needed to happen, seeing Butcher on his deathbed, seeing, like, Homelander kind of accept his past and, like, kill off that human side of him, or try to at least. They have a very similar dynamic. Like, I've said it before on this, on the show, is, like, it's very Batman and Joker. Like, I don't think one can exist without the other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Homelander obviously still very much hates Butcher, and he says it, like, the very beginning, like how they said, like, in the very first episode, when they have that conversation in the kitchen, they kind of give off that vibe that's like, you know, one can't exist without the other. Mm-hmm. Because they both drive each other to do separate things. And I don't know how they're going to handle the, you know, in the climax of the show. I feel like Butcher killing Homelander just sounds too good to be true for this kind of show, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
At least I like a happy ending where, like, he kills Homelander and survives. You know, like, it could be something that happens where maybe he passed away or something. We could save that for another day, but their dynamic is cool, like I said. I personally enjoy it. They handled it a little bit differently. I think the best way it was handled was probably season 2.
Mm-hmm. Because of the what's her name? Not Debbie. The Butcher Ryan's mom.
Yeah, Becca. Yeah, like the whole thing with that, you know, like, obviously, like, at the end of season 1, Homelander finding out he has a son, and, like, how he's constantly trying to be involved now. And when Becca and Butcher get together for the first time after that, she, like, makes him promise, like, you know, you got to look after Ryan, like, no matter what. Like, that dynamic was really cool, and, like, how him and Homelander basically went at it that whole season for Homelander's son. Yep. You know, and, like, how even though he didn't want to help Homelander or help Becca's son, you know, because it was Homelander's kid, still did it out of love for Becca. Mm-hmm. And I think that was, like, a really cool way to handle it. And then even going into season 3, they kind of do it the same way where, you know, like, he's only protecting Ryan because he loved Becca, until he obviously ends up ruining it and Ryan ends up going off with Homelander. But yeah, they continue to do the dynamic well, but next season I do need to see it finally culminate. Like, I don't need one moment, I need multiple moments showing that this is where it's heading.
Definitely. I agree with you with that. I think that Homelander low key has like I don't want to say he admires, but like he like humans such as like Ashley, Butcher, Stan Egner, people that he's more powerful than.
But they still stand up to him.
Yeah, he still stand up to him. I feel like he like respects that in a way. Because he could have killed Butcher in season 1. Mm-hmm. He brought him around season 2, could have killed him season 2. Season 3, you bring in Soldier Boy with Huey, and especially Huey. He could have been killed Huey.
Right.
But this season, I mean, you look at maybe besides Ashley, like his human interaction decreased.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he has a hatred for them now. Yeah. Like, he feels like they're trying to get rid of him. Yeah. So we don't know what would have happened if he would have seen Butcher again. And Butcher is trying to kill Homelander. He don't know the side effects. Well, now he does, of this virus that can kill all Supes. Yeah. So he's strictly on Homelander. Homelander don't care. I mean, he mentions the boys, I think, in episode 7. Like, oh, he knows about them. He knows that Starlight is with them or whatever. Right. But
his whole plan this season was just like, I just need to get control of.
Yes, I need to get control. Like, they're basically saying, like, putting him to the side. Like, yo, I got bigger things to worry about.
Than just
they're not. They barely got to him. Like, they got to him in season 3. They got to him.
The closest they ever got to getting him was literally season 3.
Yeah,
and that's
season
when
3.
Huey, Butcher, and Soldier Boy almost get him, but Soldier Boy couldn't get his powers off.
They didn't even touch him this year. Like
Yeah.
Homelander, did Homelander throw a punch this year? Like, or this season?
Not at somebody that mattered.
Like he killed a couple motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And just he been so in his own shit. Like so that dynamic was hard to do with both of the character development that was going on.
Yeah.
But it definitely does have to pay off season 5 because then we get to points like, yo, what the fuck? Like, we get it, Butcher's trying to kill the strongest motherfucker alive.
It would just make no sense
we...
for them to culminate the thing where, like, the whole point of the show was, like, Butcher hates Supes and he really hates Homelander. And, like, that's been one of the biggest knocks on the show this whole time is, like, every season it's, oh, we need to find a weapon to hurt Homelander, and then the weapon doesn't work. And that's been every single season.
Each time.
And even they did it again this season. Okay, we need the virus. And then the virus didn't get used on Homelander in this season.
It's always it's always like, okay, this could kill Homelander, but this and this and that.
Yeah.
So is Butcher gonna say, you know what, fuck all that other shit, we gonna get Homelander?
Yeah, it's like, does he finally just decide, like, yeah, like, and now that he's embraced his dark side and he has Kessler, like, on his, like, shoulder now, it's like, okay, now you need to just actually make the move. There's no more of the questioning and all that. I mean, like I said, it makes sense now. Like I said, this is your final season. If you're gonna do anything, you can go all out now.
Yep.
There's nothing holding you back. You don't got to plan for the future. So I'm hoping that's what it culminates to, because that's what they need.
Mm-hmm. You got any other thoughts about season 4? It was
like I
cool.
said,
It did its job. It built up to season 5 and
like
season
I said,
2 of Gen
My
V.
final real thought, like I said, is what I said is like it just felt like a trailer for season 5. It didn't feel like this does not feel like a season that people are going to remember. Like outside of, like I said, episode 4 and episode 8, the mid-season finale and the finale to me are like the best episodes of the show or the season by a long shot.
Yep.
And every other one kind of could just get left for what it is. There's some memes from other ones. Like I said that, you know, the Tech Night episode obviously is a very big memeable episode. Outside of that though, like I said, 7.5, that's it for me. Like they tied up some loose ends. I'm happy they're bringing back the characters they are for the finale. They clearly have a plan for it, so I'm glad they're going into the finale with everything tied up and ready to go. But this season will be forgettable in the long run.
Yep.
The Homelander episode and the finale carried very, very hard.
I agree with you. I feel like I'm not gonna sit up here and be really mad about it because it to me it did its job. It built up for the future of what's gonna happen. The execution of it kind of was stale and like you said, filler episodes at points. I mean, almost every show, a lot of shows are gonna have fillers. I mean, but an 8-episode, hour long.
It's not a long.
It's a drag watching an hour long of shit that's damn near meaningless.
Yeah.
Like the fucking web, what's his name?
Web
Weaver shit. Like probably could have went without that shit. The mole shit. The trying to find a mole and who did that. I mean, it was cool here and there, but again, that kind of got dragged. There's a lot of things that kind of dragged on longer than it needed to be. But like I said, it is its job. Like it got me, you know, thinking and theorizing for season 5, and that's all I can ask for in the show. So, if y'all got anything that y'all want to say about season 4, season 5, any other seasons, y'all let us know in the comments. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next time.